Um, so the meeting is now being recorded, and we want to say welcome. So let me know if you can hear me. Just let me know if you can hear me.
Yes, we can hear you.
Yes, we hear you.
All right, thank you, and welcome once more.
Yes, we can hear you.
All right. Okay, so this is day one, and we have 2 more days to go. That is tomorrow and the day after tomorrow. So let us know where you're joining us from, maybe your country or whatever region or your hometown or wherever you are joining us from. Just let us know quickly while we are starting up.
My name is Shadrach Limo.
No, just send a message in the chat box. Use the chat box and let us know where you are joining us from. We see your message as you come in. Someone is joining from Nigeria, from Wuhan. Thank you so much for joining. So the video for each day will be posted on TIT YouTube channel and also on the website, and as well as the TIT Facebook page. So if you check the flyer, you will see all of the information on how to access the fish, also how to get hold of the website and all of that. They are all on the flyer. Probably later on, after each day, we'll also share the link in the WeChat group and also in the WhatsApp group for those of you that want to watch the playback of the video for each day. So they will be shared here. This is the TIT website, the YouTube channel. So all of the videos for the previous days, they are all here for other editions as well. So all of the videos are here for all of the trainings we have had, including other videos that we also release. So the YouTube channel, you can check it out. Also on the website, if you come to the website and you come to training, you will see the place we told you guys to come and download R. So you can find all of the things here as well. If you check the flyer also, you will see how to get a Facebook page, the website and everything. If you scroll at the bottom, you will see previous video as well. So this is going to be the certificate you're going to receive at the end of the training. And this certificate will only be given to people who complete the 3 days. So if you miss any of these days, then your eligibility for getting a certificate will be questioned. So you have to attend all of the days. It's just 1 hour each day, and we are out of here. So everything is down. If you go way below, you will see the videos also, the link of the videos. But we'll try to also put the current videos, probably right beneath this one, which for the current videos there. And for the certificate verification, we have rolled out 2 different methods of the verification process. For those that attended the OWCC 2024, 2023 OSCC, and OWCC 2023. So you just have to come here and tap in your certificate ID. It's going to tell you your name, the program you attended, the date and time. You receive a certificate, and everything going to be brought up if you use the certificate verification. So as of this week, we launched the certificate download. So for the certificate download, since you already have received your certificate, you can just come here and put your certificate number, and then you'll be able to download the PDF version of your certificate. Also, for those of you that will be getting certificate after this training, you can also come here and just put your last name, because you don't know your certificate ID as of now. So you just come here and put in your last name, and then the system is going to tell you if you have a certificate or not, or even if your name is in the system or not. So for some of you that didn't send your name, please try to use your real name. There is an option for you to change your name. And if you don't know how to change your name, please check the chat box. You will see TIT support, and the person will be there to help you to change your name. But you already have the option to rename yourself. So just go to that option and rename yourself to the full name you want to see on your certificate. Like for example, there is somebody here called Cedric. So Cedric, I'm not sure if that's your full name. So you have to rename yourself, and we're going to use that name to put on your certificate. So at the end of the day, the 3 days, maybe on the 22nd or 23rd, you just come to the website and then you put your last name here, and then you click on search. It will tell you if you are eligible to get a certificate or not. You'll be notified. If you also want a certificate to be sent to your email, we can send it out to your email. If you want to send to your WhatsApp or through WeChat, we can also send a certificate to any of the other platforms. So, but an easier way is for you to just come here and you go through the process. I think we have
entering our name. I think by mistake I omitted that one. So how do I enter with my real name now on this page listening to you?
You go to where you can see participant. If you check the picture or whatever name is there for you, maybe for you, I think it's administrator. So just go there, and then beside your name, you will see there is a 3 dot or horizontal 3 dot. You click on it, you see an option there to rename. So go beside your name, you will see to called rename, and then you just rename yourself, and that will be okay. Or if you still have the time, you can rejoin the meeting. And in the process of rejoining the meeting, when they're asking you to put in the meeting ID and password, there's also a place there for you to put your full name.
No,
that's
I've
another
done
option
it.
also.
I've done it. Thank you so much.
All right, that's good. So let's get to business. And if you already have R installed, please let us know in the chat box. I'm not hearing anything. Am I the only one facing this issue? Guys, can you hear me? There is one Daniel P. Newman saying he cannot hear me.
Clear. I can hear you loud and clear.
All right, that's good.
We can hear you.
All right, that's good.
Loud and clear, loud and clear.
So Gideon, let me make you. Later. All right, so if you already have R installed, please let us know if you already have R installed, because this is going to be practical. So we don't. Most of the other trainings probably we have had section for just maybe chatting and all of that. But this one is going to be practical. So please let us know R install. We have shared that message over and over. And also, please open your R and RStudio, or you can just open only the RStudio. If you're not speaking, please mute yourself. We decided to give the option to everybody. Once you join, you are muted. So the fact that you are unmuted, that means you yourself on. So yeah, it's okay. It's okay. Just mute yourself. So we already gave you an option to everybody to download R, and we hope that you already have it. Some of us join right now and our first time to join. Kind of share the link to download R. We already go and visit the website. Check the flyer you have seen, or you visit network.org/training. There you see download R for Windows or for Mac OS. So once you click, it's just going to download the file directly. You don't have to maybe click too many places. So visit TIT website and download the R if you don't have it. But let's move on for the sake of time. For those that have it, if you're just joining us, the video will be placed on TIT website, so you can as well go there and rewatch. Please mute yourself, guys. Let me do that. If you're not speaking, just mute yourself. You don't have to mute. All right, so this is R Studio. This is R Studio. We told you to download R and RStudio. And the reason why is because you can also use R to do your normal thing, but it's almost like you are using, for some of you that have seen command prompt. For some of you that have seen command prompt like this, you can also use your computer by command prompt, right? But the thing is, you cannot have a graphical interface. Maybe you want to see your plots, you want to see other things, you cannot have that option. So if you install R, it's just going to give you a terminal where you can do your script and all of that. But RStudio is more like an IDE for some of you that have been coding before, or it's a platform where you can be able to see your plots, you can interact with your files from your computer, and it just gives you a graphical look. And also for some of you that have used SPSS, I think for those in the WeChat group, I've shared some screenshots today on the pros and cons when it comes to SPSS and R. R is much more better than SPSS, but in case you don't want to maybe get involved into maybe even tap in 2 + 2, like it's going to be maybe something like coding to you, and you are not that much interested into anything concerning coding, then you can use SPSS. But using SPSS, you also have limitation when it comes to customization or advanced customization of your plots or of your data. And also SPSS is either probably you are getting a cracked version from someone, or maybe your university is giving you an account for you to use the SPSS, or your organization is giving you that. Besides that, SPSS is not free. But as all of you can serve as witness, you are able to download R and RStudio for free. So R is free of charge. SPSS is not. R, you can do advanced customization. In SPSS, you cannot do advanced customization. And there are a whole lot of things out there that you cannot do with it. So with this environment, there are a couple of things that we have to know. There are a couple of things we have to know as well. We have like 4 basic windows, but now you can only see 3. This one, this one, this one. Where you can see environment history connection, that's one of it. Where you can see console terminal, Michael's background job is another one. And then where you can see file plot packages and all of that is another one. There's another place where you can also use to write your codes. If you are using just the R, you're going to have.
Are you sharing your screen? We cannot see anything. I don't know.
Yeah, you're sharing your
I'm
screen. We
sharing
are
my
seeing it.
screen.
And your mouse cursor, everything blinking.
All right, thank you for the feedback, Gideon. So, bro, you can check your from your end. So, if you are just using R, you will just have a terminal look like this. But then, one of the advantages of using the RStudio, you have another option where you can be able to write the same thing, but it's not going to be executed. So, if you start to type in here, whatever you type will be executed once you press enter, or when it moves to the next line, which is not recommended. So in here, you can also do your tapping. Another thing you can also do in here is to interact with your terminal.
Hello,
If
host.
you have been using maybe,
Sorry to interrupt, please. Please,
yeah,
I'm asking, how can I view both your slide and my RStudio, because it's a bit challenging to me here.
you cannot view both probably at the same time. You will just see, you have yours with you, and then on the maybe on the upper right corner, you will see a little thing about mine, and then you can take it up from there.
Yeah, I just wanted to view both, just like in Word, so I can use both at the same time. Is it not possible here?
Yeah, you can reduce the sizes.
Just reduce the size. In the upper right corner, you can also have a little screen there that will also show me, while you also have the bigger screen showing yourself.
Oh, all right, okay. Thank you.
Yeah. So the same thing, if you have used Windows before, or even your Mac computer with terminal, You also have the same thing here to interact with your files and folders and everything. You can also do the same thing to do all that of stuff here. But mostly you're not going to deal with this. You're just going to focus on the console. On this side, where we have the environment, history, and all of that, everything you have been tapping or doing will be saved into history. And then the environment is where you can see all of your data frame, your variables you're going to be creating, your data you're going to be importing. You can see all of that as well from the environment area. So shortly we're going to see that. And then if your environment is getting a lot of data or things have been here, you can come here to clear all of it. So once you click on this, something like a brush or broom, it's going to clear all of what you have on your environment. From here as well, you can also open and save different environments. And then also one of the advantageous part about this one, you can also upload your data set. So maybe you have your data from SPSS, you have your data in Excel, or you have it in CSV or SAS or SATA. You can as well get the data from here. You can also use command to also import your data, but as well you can also use the graphical user interface to import your data. If you click on here from Excel, it's going to bring up a dialog box where it's asking you to choose or browse on your computer to find the place you have that Excel file saved. So we'll get that shortly when we get to data import and export. We'll show you how to do it. But you also have the ability to do it from that option as well. And then coming to this part quickly, you have different options like file, plots, packages, help, viewer, and presentation. Files can be used for you to also interact with your drafts. Your draft C, your My Document, picture, desktop. You can also interact with your drive or your local computer from all of these, from the file area. You can also set up the directory and all of that from here. So I'm just giving you an overview of it because when we start to use it, so that you can know probably where we are and where to get certain things. Plots, if you maybe on the third day or starting tomorrow, when we start to generate plots or visualization, you will get to see most of your plots here, and also on a viewer also you will see some of your plots. For those plots that have to do with animation and all of that, you're going to see it from viewer as well. Help, you can use it to find or to search for any other thing like package, or probably you don't understand certain command or you don't understand certain keyword. You can also search, and then it's going to give you a full documentation about that thing. We'll also show that very shortly. Packages, you also have two ways to install the packages. You can use the command line to install your packages, or you can use this area for packages. So once you click here and you come on install, you can now type the name of that package you want to install. And then after that, you click on, I advise that you also take this option called install dependency. So every other little files or attributes, they can also come along with that package. And then once you click on install, that package is going to be installed. Also, you can also do it from the command line, which you're going to see later on how to install the package as well from there. You can as well attach or detach a package. Maybe you want to use certain package, you can attach or detach that package by just clicking on it, or you unclick. And you can also see a little description about that package, what it is used for. So basically, that's just an overview of the interface for R RStudio. There are other options, similar things you can do from these guys up here, like files. And if you have used Microsoft Word, I think you'll be familiar with files, and you can also see what files does. As always, for most of the programs, files are going to open new file, new projects, save as. These are basic things that are on the files. So once you have been using Microsoft Word or using your computer, this shouldn't be maybe much strange to you. The same thing for edit. So you can just go around and play around here and see probably what it does. But the main thing is what I'm just going to talk to you about. So far, if you have any question concerning what we just talked about, then you can unmute yourself and ask a question, or you can send a message in the chat box. Maybe there was something that I talked about and I was so fast, you didn't get clearly.
I said I have a question. Are you getting me?
Okay, good evening.
Yeah. So just
Okay.
use the option for raising hand. If you know the option for raising hand, just raise your hand, then we can recognize you quickly. But just go ahead. Whoever want to
All right,
speak
thank
now, you
you.
can go.
Thank you. Like before you go forward, there are other studios elaborate that use like we have the non-pay, we have the pandas and others. So please, can you tell me the advantage of using the R Studios as compared to those others for the data analysis?
Non-par or scarpa, these ones you can use them also when you are using basically like pattern for data analysis or data science. But then using those other packages, you have to get a fundamental programming skills. So the first thing is, even using this R, you also need to have a little bit of programming skill, but it's not in depth as compared to what you need to have for pattern. So if you want to use non-pattern and all of that, then your most focus can be on using pattern for data science. For R, you can also use different packages as well to do the same analysis. So later on during the training, you're going to see, based on what you want to do, there are packages for certain things you want to do. And what we're going to do during the training is that almost all of the packages or data set we're going to be using are data sets that are available to every one of you. As long as you have R and RStudio installed, every other package or data set we're going to be using, you also have that data set to your disposal. So we are going to do the same thing at the same time without probably anyone leaving behind, or I have to send maybe certain files to you, or I have to send certain photos to you. No. You also have access to it as long as you have R. That's one of the advantages of using R, especially for your analysis and all of that. When it comes to Python, you don't have that option. So that's one of the differences. Moses, you can go ahead quickly.
Okay,
So,
thank you. Thank you. I have one challenge. I installed the R some time back, and there is certain work which I already have. So I would like you to explain to me how I can create a new environment in the R console so that I can start a new work without as I left the other old work still in the R console.
You install new R?
Let me repeat the question.
Okay.
I already have the R Studio in my computer. Everything is working, but I'm getting a challenge. I'm having a challenge of creating a new environment in R console.
All right.
Yes.
So for the console, it's just one. You cannot create additional console. But for your environment, all of your data you have been saving before, or if it's one doing, later on you're going to see all of the variables and data set we're going to be importing. They will be here on our environment. They will be under the environment. So from here, you can save that environment. So even if you open new RStudio, or you take your work to someone else's computer, you can also reopen your environment and start from there. Your things will also come from the console as well. But if you have not saved the work or saved your environment, then that's when it's going to be a problem. So I'm not sure if you save it, but if you save it, you can also just come here, right on the environment, you can see a folder leg. If you click on that, it's going to ask you to find the place you save that environment. And then once you load the environment, you can start to use it from there. But if you want to clear, you can also clear your environment, but I don't think that was the case. Your case was how you can use your same data. So I don't know if you save it, but if you're not save it, then that's the problem. But if you save it, just come here to this folder sound, and then you can upload everything. You can also use it back to your console. So let's take one more question, and then we move on.
Hello.
Yeah, hello.
I'm totally new to this R and RStudio, but I'm trying to maybe relate in terms of other software like Stata, SPSS. So I wanted maybe to know the relationship between R and RStudio. Why are the two going together? And then this console window, if I may use my understanding from Stata, should we understand this window as the command window instead of talk of command window? Is console the command window?
Yes, you can understand console as the command window.
Okay.
And
R RStudio, how are they related?
All right. So you see, R RStudio is like the house. So in order for you to have, then R is the engine, or let's say R is just, R RStudio is like the frame of the car, and then R is like the engine. Yeah. So if you observe right beneath the console, you will see R 4.4.1 right beneath this console. You see R 4.4.1. So if you can also use different versions of R by R RStudio. Maybe if R have released a newer version and you download that version, you can also use that version here. The next time you restart R is going to ask you to choose which one of the versions of, R RStudio is going to ask you which one of the versions of R you want to use. So your version, the reason why you install R first before installing R RStudio is because we need the R. R is the language. R is the engine. But we just need this frame for R RStudio so that we can have a beautiful look about how we can save our data, open our data, view our plots. We cannot do all of these things in a very beautiful environment just by using R. So that's the relationship of it.
Thank you.
So one there serving as the engine, one there serving as a frame.
Thank you for that. Thank you.
All right, so the script editor is what we're going to get to shortly. You have three different areas. So another area that I talked about is where you can type your code. If you don't want to use the console, which is going to execute your code line by line, you can use something called the script area. So to use that, you click here on this plus, and then you see R script. Or another way you can do it is to say new blank file. From your file area here, you see new blank file, and then you click on R script. Or you just come here, and then you click on R script. Another way you can do it is to press the control key on your keyboard, and you press 1. So you press the control key on your keyboard, and you press 1, then it's going to bring up the R script area. In this R script area, you can now tap everything like you are tapping your notes, and then you can save it later on. You can transfer it to another R, and then you continue your work from there. So we're going to use this one a lot. We are not going to use the console often. We're going to use this one a lot to read all of our codes and many other programs that we have. So now let's move on. The first thing we want to do is to show you how you can get help and other basic functions as well with R. I don't have the same R interface. So we get to that shortly if you don't have the same R interface. If you want to navigate away from any of these ones, like maybe currently it's in the R script area. So if you want to use the console or the environment or your file, you can also click to go there, or you can use the control key and press 1 for the script area, 2 for the console area, 3 for the environment area. So like that, control 1, control 2, control 3, and then you can navigate your way around different areas. So the first thing when we open our script, we have a blank one. And also for the console area, probably when we have seen a lot of scripts have been run or a lot of commands have been executed, at any point in time, we can clear everything we have at our console by using the brush right in the upper corner here, or we can tap Control L. Stick your hand on the Control key and then you press L. It's going to clear everything you have on your console. It's going to clear everything you have on your console. So from here, we can also do the same basic arithmetic. Like maybe you want to do 2 plus 2. I was going to calculate that for you and give you 4 as your answer. You can tap it in a console. You can also tap it here, 2 plus 2. So if you do it like this, you can highlight everything, and then you use the Control key and Enter. That's a shorter way and faster way, or you can come to Code, and then you run code selection, or you can run selected line. But it's just easier for you to just highlight, and then you press Control and Enter. It's also going to calculate the same 2 plus 2 for you and give you 4. You can use different mathematical expressions. So let's start with that as our beginner level. Let's start with that first. So let's say we want to add 5 plus 6. So we run that, we get 11. And then in R, we have something called variables. For some of you that have been programming, you also understand variables in an assignment. A variable is almost like you have a house, and then, or maybe you have a box. That box is a variable. You can give that box a name. Maybe you can call that box Lake Victoria, or you can call that box Zanzibar. And then in that box, you want to save things in the box. So that's called the assignment. We are assigning things to the box. For example, we did the first calculation, 5 plus 6, and it gives us 11. Let's say in the future, we want to keep this number 5, and we also want to keep this number 6 to keep using it over and over and again. But every time we want to use it, we don't want to say 5 or we don't want to say 6. We just want to call that variable. We just want to have the box. And once we have the box, when we look inside the box, we can see 5. When we look inside the box, we can see 6 or whatever variable we have. So let's see how we can do it. Maybe we can say A. So a variable cannot start with a number or underscore, but you can use a letter. But in between, you can also put numbers. So start your variable with, it can be lowercase or uppercase. Please repeat on the addition. Yeah, we're going to get that shortly. The addition is just you type in 5 plus 6 or whatever number you want to add, subtract, or divide. So let's say now we want to assign this number 5 into variable A or into box A. Let's just say box A, or box 1, or box 1, box A, whatever it is. The name can be any name you want. It can be Louis. It can be any name you want. So in R, we also use this greater than with a little hyphen. It's the same as you saying box A equal something else. So let's say box A equals 5. You can also use equal, the equal sign on your keyboard, but in R, you're going to see that most often. This one is going to be used most often.
Sorry to interrupt you. Please, can you when you type A? I don't know how you got to box 1. Please, can you just refresh a little? Huh?
No, I just removed the A. The A is not in use again, so we can use any name.
Okay, so how did you get the box 1 showing there?
I just tap it. You can tap maybe Okiki or Emmanuel.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, you can use any name you want to use. A name that you can use to remember that in this name or in this box is where I'm saving 5, or is where I'm saving my entire data set. So we are saving 5 in box A, box 1. So if I use Control and Enter, 5 have been saved into box 1. So if you check my environment now, you see that I have a value here, box 1, and the value here is 5. Now I can also do the same and say maybe box, let's use Emmanuel. And now I want to assign. If you want to get this sign, you can put your hand on the alternate key, the key on your keyboard that has ALT, and then you press the minus. If you look at the top of the keyboard, you see the minus key or the hyphen key. So you stick your hand on it together, and then you can generate this sound. Or you can manually tap it. You tap a less than, and then you put a minus. That's also another way to do it. But the faster way, just hold down the alternate key and press the minus, and you're going to generate this sound. So in this one, I want to save 6. 6 will be saved into Emmanuel. So now what we can do is to see if we can add. So let's add box 1 and Emmanuel. So I can create another variable and say, or maybe I can just say box 1 plus Emmanuel. If you observe, I didn't run Emmanuel line. So now Emmanuel is on our environment, meaning it has been saved. So anytime in the future we can use it.
I'm sorry,
I didn't get it clearly, just use the chat box. So box 1 plus Emmanuel. And then when I press enter, you can see also it gave me the value of 11. Also, you can do addition, subtraction, multiplication, division of this number. How did you run it? So if the cursor is blinking at this line, you can press the control key and enter, and then it will be run. Or you can highlight a particular line, and then you press the control key on your keyboard and enter. It will also be run. That's another way to run it. Or you can also highlight it.
How did you assign the variable in the environment?
It will be automatically assigned. Once we run it, or once you press Control Enter, it will be automatically brought up here.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, this one you are not. You don't have anything to do with this one. So you just run it from here, and then it will be saved here. Even if you import your data set, it will also be here as well. So you can also do division, multiplication, addition with it. But let's just go over it quickly. Someone said I was very fast. So box 1 can be any name. And then we can assign any value we want to assign to it. We can also assign a whole different maybe table or an entire Excel document we can assign to box 1. Also, Emmanuel can be any name. It's just a variable. And we assign a value also to Emmanuel. Now we can add Emmanuel in box 1. And also we can create another one, maybe called sum, and assign both box 1 and Emmanuel to it as well. So that's another way you can also. Yeah, go ahead.
For me, I was trying to go with the way you go, and then why mine is not showing in the environment.
That means probably you have not run it. So you have to highlight the line, and then put your hand on the control key, and then you press enter.
After highlighting,
highlight the entire expression. Box 1
yes.
less than 5. You get it?
Okay.
Sorry, I'm not getting
it. He can also run. No need of selecting. No need of highlight.
No, you cannot see it on the environment. So first you have to, before you see box 1 or Emmanuel, you have to run it. So you can either come to code and run selected line. Yeah. Once you do it, it will also come here. Or you just, once the cursor is blinking behind this one, you can also press the control key and enter. It will also be run. But then navigate away, maybe yours is on history, or maybe yours is on connection. So try to change and see if you can come back to environment. All right, let's move on.
Hello?
Okay, we have.
Yeah.
It's working.
Yeah,
working?
please.
Hello. Yeah, working.
Okay. Yeah, who's that? James?
Yeah,
Lucas.
I think, yeah, those who asking how you can run, I think if you check at the top of the place where you type the code to run, you can see arrow there. There is a green arrow, or for other arrow scripts, you can see run. Once you click on it, run, yes, the line that has the cursor will automatically run. Yes, where you are. Once you click on that run, the line will automatically run and gets to your environment.
Yeah, I think he already is working for him. Yeah, Lucas, go ahead quickly.
Yeah, I was trying to ask, like the beginning of our scripts, like I was lost. Can you please go back?
So to open R script, you come here to this plus, and then you say R script. Then it's going to open up the scene. You click here, and you click on R script. It's going to open up a clear area like this, right? And then you can just step in the same thing you are seeing here. So every time you tap it, if you want to see the output, then you can run it.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Yes.
You come at the end of the line, and then you just click on run. Like
This
that.
one is
So
easy.
you can run it like that. Okay.
All right. Okay, clear.
Thank you.
All right. So the next thing we want to move on now is to comment. So maybe, for example, you want to specify or clarify to someone that box 1 and Emmanuel are two variables that are holding numbers, or they are holding certain things, right? So you can use something called a comment. And to use a comment, you can use the pound, or other people refer to it as hash, or this number sound. It's on your keyboard. You can use the shift and 3. I think you have used it a lot. So anything you tap here will not be run as a code. It's just a comment to explain a particular line, or to explain the entire code. So if you want someone to understand, you can say box 1 is holding or keeping the number 5, like that. So just to explain. So you can use comment to do that. All right. So that should be very easy. Let's move on quickly because of time. The video will be on the YouTube channel. Later on, we're going to share the link so you can go back and watch. We have more things to discuss today, but time is not our friend. So the next thing is data structure. For data structure, we have 5 different kinds of data structure. Basically, we have vectors, we have matrices, we have lists, we have data frame, and we have factors. So to go quickly, let's start with a vector. So when we talk about vector data structure, they are one-dimensional array. And to show you that, let's create one numeric vector. It can be any name as well, right? So it doesn't matter because it's a numeric vector. But then the way in which you going to see it to be a numeric vector is by this expression. So C, and then in a parenthesis, you can put any numbers you want for this vector to hold or to keep. Let's put up to 5. So C means concatenate. Okay, C means concatenate, or you can just consider it in your own understanding like to keep. Let it just keep from 1 to 5. So if we run this, you can see here in our environment, numeric vector is a number kind of for data, as we call it numeric. It have a number from 1 to 5, and these are the numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We can also have something called a character vector, not just a numeric vector. We can also have a character vector, and the same expression for the character vector. Also, we can keep characters in it. For example, we can say maybe ABC or whatever character we want to keep in it. So this is a character vector. So if we also run it, you can see a character vector here. The data type is CHR, meaning character, or chart. Some other will refer to it as chart. So these are 2 different kinds of vectors. And at any point in time, you can access specific element within any of these vectors. Let's say, for example, we want to access the first element. We want to access the first element of the numeric vector. For example, we can run this command and say the numeric vector. So our studio gave you the opportunity to complete your code or give you suggestions. So you can see our vector is our data, and then what we want to get is the first value in that entire data set. I mean, in that entire variable. So numeric vector can be a variable name. The same way we have box1 or Emmanuel, we can also say Emmanuel vector or Emmanuel whatever. It doesn't have to be vector also. It can be any name we want. So if we run this code, now first element has now come to our environment. We can print it. If you have been using pattern, print is also another command you can use to display results. So if you print this, we'll also see 1. Or you can also output it. So once you use print first element, which we created as a variable, the value in it was 1. So you can do the same thing for the character vector. We can also see different, each of the different values that are in that entire data set or that entire vector or that entire variable. The next thing we can look at is metrics. We can create different matrices in R based on different dimensions. For example, we can create a 2x3 matrix in R, and we can give it a name. Maybe we can say matrix 1. And then in this matrix, we want to save or want to put an expression. So matrix 1 can be any name, but just a name that we can be able to use to remember that this is a matrix. Anytime we see this variable name or the car frame or this house that is called matrix 1, we know that inside of that house or inside of that car, everything that's related to metrics. So it's another good way to name your variables with a name that you can remember. And now we're using a keyword, metrics. And inside this matrix, what we are saying is give us a number from 1 to 6. And then the number of rows, we want to be in this matrix, maybe we want 2. And the number of columns we want for this matrix, we want maybe 3. So if I run this, I have a matrix here. So if we view this matrix, let's say, for example, we print this matrix 1. If we print matrix 1, we can see the value down here is a 2x3 matrix. In our console here, we can see it, or we can use another expression called view matrix 1. And then it's going to give us a better view of this. So you can see here the matrix is a 2x3 matrix. V1, V2, V3, those are different column name. We can change it. But just to show you, is a value from 1 to 6. So if you want to have a matrix from whatever number to whatever number, then you can change the expression out of from 1 to 6 and use different expression that you want. The next thing we want to view quickly, we have 10 minutes to go. The next thing you want to view quickly is list. So we are covering these things because tomorrow we'll start dealing with data manipulation, and if time permits, we'll start plotting and seeing some graphs and all of that. So these ones are just basic things to give us an understanding before we jump into the main things. So it might be product boring for some of you that already know it, or it might be too fast for some of you that haven't, but let's take it easy as we can. The video will be there. You can go back and watch the video and decrease the speed to follow suit. So lists, you can just have different variables. So all of the variables we have created before, we can save them in a list, and then we can access that list. For example, we can create a list called maybe my list. And then in this list, what we want to do is we want to use this keyword called list, which is the main thing. And then in this list, we want to have maybe numeric vector. We created one variable called numeric vector. We created another one called character vector. And then we created another variable called first element. Or let's just say maybe matrix 1. Okay, so we have 3 variables saved inside this man list. So it comes out as a data frame. We're going to show you later what is data frame. So you see an environment here with blue something. When I click on this blue one, I can be able to see the entire list and all of the variables that are saved into it from the 3 different variables that we have. We can see the entire man list. And then from here, we can also access specific things in this list. For example, if we want to access the first element in my list, we can probably say first element or maybe first item. And then we can use my list as our case study and say probably want to access the first element in this. If you remember the very first thing that we put in here was numeric vector. So if we try to view or we try to print first element or first item, we should be able to see all of the values in the very first variable that we used, which was basically the numeric vector. And the numeric vector we have from 1 to 5, which is this guy. So we can access element within the list. We can access element within the list. So I'm going to do the last one on data frame, and then we will stop here for today and take probably any question if you have. If not, then we can close it up for today. So the last one is data frame. Data frame, for most of the other ones we have been doing, data frame is a 2-dimensional heterogeneous data structure. So we can consider it probably as an Excel or an SQL table, right, for data frame. So to create a data frame, for example, we can say DF for data frame, just to remember the name, but the name can be anything we want. So the keyword here is going to be data frame. And then in this data frame, we want to have probably different data. For example, maybe ID, and then the ID of this person or this group of people is 1, 2, 3. And then we want to also have names. The name of these people, we can have different names. Maybe we can say Alice, or maybe you can use Emmanuel. But let's use Alice. And then another name we can have here, maybe Bob. And then we can take one more name, maybe Charlie or something like that. And then we can have another variable called age. So in this age is going to be numeric. So we can have maybe different ages like 25, maybe 30. And then maybe we can put 35. So this is a data frame. So if we run this guy, what we just created now is a data frame. If we check our environment, we can see a DF as our data frame. If I click on it, now you can see it comes as an Excel, like an Excel spreadsheet. So you can see the ID, the name, the age, and everything. We can as well call out maybe or get only the first name, first ID, first age, and all of that from this data frame. For example, we can get probably, let's create one variable called first row from this data frame. We want to get only the first row from here, and then we say this first row equals to our data frame, and then just give us only the first row. So if we run this, first row variable has been saved. We can view it or we can print it. So if we print this first row, we can now see that we have the ID here, 1, the name Alice, and the age 25. We can also view it. You can also view it to have a better view. You can see the ID is 1, the name is Alice, the age is 25. So that's data frame. As we progress, we will see later how we can use data frame for most of our data to view it. So I think I was very fast because of the time. So I'm going to stop here for now. We have to respect the time. So if you have any question, 5 minutes left, you can ask your question.
Hello.
Hello.
Oh, thank you so much for you tried really your best to make use of the limited time to explain a lot of concepts, a lot of things. My only maybe humble request would be, if at all is possible, can we use maybe comparative knowledge from the known softwares? Some people know SPSS, others know Stata, mention them. And then can we use language from these other software, if at all is possible, to explain something about what we are doing now, because this is the unknown window to most of us. So for example, here we're talking about maybe creating variables. So I just maybe understood that one was the end. I didn't know what's happening here. Was after entering things were going into the environment window, but also under console there. So maybe do something like instead, this is what you may call maybe value labels or creating variables or something like that. Is it possible? Maybe it may facilitate understanding. I don't know. It's just a humble request.
Okay, we'll consider the request going forward. Any other question?
No, sorry. The last one was I see that there were some questions coming in the chat box there. Other people having technical challenges, maybe to join or this and that. I wonder if you've got a team, somebody to help you, for example, so that you concentrate on explaining whatever you have on your, what you have planned maybe to teach us or to train us on, so that somebody can be handling those technical issues underground, so that other than maybe diverting your attention. I wonder if there's somebody who can be assisting you in that regard. Thank you.
All right. So we have a few people on the chat box doing that. So yeah.
Okay.
But we'll
I
also
have a
increase
question. Yeah, I have a question. When we finish doing the numeric version, I run it and the thing showed in the environment. But for the character, I did, but it did not. I don't know if the C that comes the C that comes after the less than and minus sign. The C that comes after it, did you type it manually or did it come by on its own?
No, I type it manually and it's a small letter C.
Small letter C, yeah. So I did the same and then I put the cursor at the end of this thing and then I run it. Nothing is showing on the environment. What could be the issue? So when it's showing on unexpected symbol in character. I don't know what that means.
Yeah, so it will give more details. So what you can do if you're in out of the groups, out of the WhatsApp or WeChat, after here you can chat with me or send a message in that group and then we can solve the problem from there also.
Did you put your letters in quotations?
Yes, I put my letters in quotation and also put the comma.
I'm sure the error message I've indicated that. So what you can do, just send a screenshot in the group and then we're going to solve it together, okay?
Yes, send the screenshots. Screenshots.
Hello? Yeah, just send a screenshot if you have any challenge.
Hello.
Yeah, Jenny, go ahead, Jenny.
Hear me?
Yeah, Abdul, just wait a minute. Abdul, just wait a minute. Jenny, go ahead.
All right, thank you very much for the training.
Okay.
It's just a request that I have because like for some of us, like we are basic when it comes to coding. So I was thinking if it is possible, like especially when it comes to giving the comments, because like for example, what the other brother just said that he's getting some errors. I think it is the importing the comment that some of us might have problem with. So maybe, I don't know if you will have the time to just brush over it briefly on maybe just key concepts that we need to gather when we are inputting, when we are giving specific comments using the different variables and maybe different elements.
All right, so officially we will end the meeting maybe in 2 minutes. And then if you have questions, we can stay and do it together, or you can send a screenshot in the group. We will also do it there. We have the entire day if I will stay with you to do it. Yeah, I will be available to do that. So stay with me here after the official
send
time.
the QR code for the groups for WeChat.
Hello, yeah, can you the code or the
bro, I want to ask a question.
Okay, so what we're going to do, we have a lot of people with questions. For the WeChat group, if you have, I don't know which group you saw the message from, but if anyone you saw sharing the message, just tell them to add you to the TIT group, because the group have already exceeded, I think, almost 400 persons now, so you cannot join by QR code. So someone have to invite you. So just, or you can add me on WeChat using this ID.
I send my
IT
WeChat.
group B.
They can add me, then I will add them to the group.
All right. Or you can also add me using IT_guru_B, and then I'll add you to the group as well. Let's take one more question.
Yeah,
Abdul.
I have another question. Hello.
Another one. Let's take a new person.
Yeah,
Let's take someone who have not asked before.
I have a question. I'm new person, man. I haven't asked the question.
Okay, the new.
I'm also new.
Hello.
I'm also.
Okay, go ahead. Go ahead.
I want to ask what is the difference between data frame and the matrix? Because I'm seeing like they
Data
kind of
frame, you
similar.
can be able to. Data frame is more of like, it's a two-dimensional array, and also in data frame, you can view your data like in Excel. But if you see like metrics, we cannot view it like that, except we save it as a data frame. Metrics is more of like one-dimensional as well, but data frame is a two-dimensional array. But we explain that, I think the two-dimension and one-dimension might be confusing, but we explain that. Yeah, very, very shortly. Just stay with me. Let's end this officially, and then those are questions related to what we did.
Let me just chip in.
Yeah, go ahead quickly.
I study robotics. I want to know, like, I've never heard of R Studios really. Like, today is my first time in about like 2 minutes to hear what this is, and I tried to find what it is, and it says an IDE. So is it just like code blocks, or it's, I don't know, is it a different thing altogether, or I really don't even know what it is used for. Apparently, I just ended up here because one of my friends was like, yo, this is an engineering course, maybe you can just jump into it. And I'm like, okay, let me just check what it is.
There are vast number of things you can do with R and RStudio. You can do machine learning and deep learning with R and RStudio. So it's not just limited to what we are doing or data analysis. You can do machine learning as well with R and RStudio. Okay. Yeah, so let's end it here for today. If you have any question, you can stay back, or you can send a screenshot in the groups, and then we will resolve your question.
Thank you for the introduction. We look forward to tomorrow.
Okay. So just a minute. We want to do something quickly for the sake of record. Please, if you can, so that we can know those that ended the meeting. Just turn on your camera. Let's take a screenshot. What? Of those that are here. Yeah, just turn on your camera. I want to take a screenshot quickly of those that are here, and then we will call it a day. All right, we are taking the first screen, so you don't know which screen you are on. So please just stay with us. Shortly, we going to do it fast. Yeah, don't worry. As long as probably we can see a fraction of your name or your face, because what will happen is later on, some people will say, "Oh, I was there. But then you don't want to give me a certificate. I was there. So we use this as a means of verifying.
My questions. Can you?
Let me finish. Sorry, let me finish quickly. Then we'll ask questions, so that we can allow people to go.
I'm not seeing myself.
We don't want to keep people waiting. So. Just stay there. Just open your camera and just stay. Doesn't matter. All right. So we got a few more.
You're not seeing yourself, I'm seeing you. So no problem.
All right. So
who can see me?
We can see you when you talk.
We have to verify,
Yeah,
nobody can see me.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much.
Yeah, don't go. Just stay, please.
Okay, meet tomorrow.
Please. Please, if
from
possible,
experience, please don't go. Let's finish this quickly. I will let you know.
Put your
maybe...
WeChat ID, please. On
I have just sent you a request on WeChat.
But then I know if you're done with me.
When he's done with everyone, he will let us know.
I will let you know. Don't worry.
I
got two more. I got 2 more slides to take. So just a minute. I will let you know in less than. Yeah. So in case you think you attend a day and Orlando say you're done, then you can also check the YouTube or check the files.
You
These
can
files will be
please
shared in the group.
send
So you also silent
YouTube
mistakes
link in
can
the
come
group
anytime.
also, please. Because for some of us,
Sure, I'll
we're
do
just
that.
following on WeChat.
I'll do that.
Yeah, we're not following on YouTube.
All right. So I've taken
And
the
even the
last one.
WhatsApp. In the WhatsApp.
All right, I've taken
I wanted to ask.
Okay, that's it.
the
So,
perfect key, so.